How much of people's fear of just starting, because I know that's
Yes.
a message that I took to heart, like just start before you think you're ready, right?
Yeah.
But how much of that paralysis that people feel do you think they can almost tie back to like early messaging from their
Yes,
parents, like
yes.
you're not good enough, it's
Yes,
not.
yes, early messaging from their parents. Sometimes, unfortunately, it's bad messaging from the person they're with right now.
Yeah.
It tells you, you're silly to try that. You're too old. You don't have the talent. You don't have the skill. So I'm always repeating the message, as you are, is that you can do anything you put your mind to. You can learn any skill that you need to learn. There are really no limits at all, except the limits you place on yourself.
Yeah.
And I've beaten that drum for 40 years.
Yes.
And people, and it is a great thought. That the fact is that you have unlimited potential and it goes on all your life,
Yeah.
as opposed to at a certain stage, you've done the best you can.
Yeah. I just got a message yesterday on Facebook. A gentleman said, I'm 50 years old. What advice do you have for me to starting something new? And I first thought, well, just start. But
Yes.
but you can already hear his
Yeah.
limiting beliefs because he gave me his age. What does that matter?
Yeah, that's right.
You know?
Well, I read a wonderful study many years ago, and I taught it for many years. Sometimes I just drop it into a seminar. And at Babson College, they did a study of people who went through the finest degree in entrepreneurship, an entrepreneurial MBA.
Mm-hmm.
And 90% of them never did a thing with it. They went and got jobs working for companies.
Yes.
And after I told this little story, I had somebody come up to me and said, "Oh, I was one of them." The final thesis for your MBA is how to start a business. You could do a complete business plan to start a business. And 90% never did. He said, I was one of those who never did.
Wow.
And what it said was they went out and got a job with another company. And they were hired, given good jobs, New York jobs and so on. And so they analyzed, why did some people succeed and why people fail? And the only answer was launching. The successful people launched. And none of them were successful in the area where they started off in.
Right. Just hold on to that for a second.
Yeah. And I say that when you take action, I'm always talking about the importance of taking action. The first thing that happens, you get feedback, which enables you to correct your course.
Yeah.
The second thing that happens, you get more ideas for more actions that you can take.
Yes.
And number three, your self-confidence goes up.
Yeah.
And you feel happy and you feel more powerful. And you get all of that from taking the first step.
Yeah.
And you get nothing if you don't. Nothing for sitting and watching television. So if you have an idea, take the first step. And one of the things I say, which gets an incredible reaction, is you can always see the first step.
Yes, this
And
is
the
true.
whole audience goes, oh.
Right.
You can always see the first step. And when you take the first step, the second step will appear.
Yeah.
And when you take the second step, the third step will appear.
So then why do people ask that rhetorical question, I don't know where to start?
Yeah, it's because they're afraid. They're afraid of failing. And the fear of loss is such a huge loss. It starts in early childhood. They're afraid of failing and earning the disapproval of other people in their lives.
Yes.
Because if our kids tried something and are not successful, we say, what did you learn?
Yeah.
And they talk about what they learn. I mean, it's irrelevant. Whereas I guess other kids are brought up and they make a mistake and their parents dump on them.
Yeah.
Tell them, I could have told you it wasn't going to work. Look how much time and money that you wasted. And there was a great interview on television many years ago where they had 4 self-made millionaires, and each of them were in their 20s. And they asked them at the end of the part of the interview, how many businesses did you start before you started one that you became a millionaire? And so during the break, they calculated it up, and it came up. They started an average of 16 businesses.
And they were in their 20s.
And they're in their 20s. And so the question was, did they fail in those 16 businesses, or did they learn absolutely essential lessons that enabled them to succeed on the 17?
Yes.
And everybody goes, of course. The success was presupposed on the failures. So every failure was a stepping stone to inevitable success.
Wow.